All right, hello there. Welcome to the channel. My name is James, and here at 20th and 21st Movies, we are about all things cinema. All right, I appreciate you joining me today. I think that you will find this topic very interesting, especially if you are a collector of Criterion Collection titles. If you're anything like me, you have a number of titles in your collection. Some of these are some of your personal favorites in all of your physical media catalog. And, these are titles that reflect your personal taste in movies, the types of films that you enjoy or the types of films that you want to discover, and you love a number of titles in your collection. So here's the impossible question that I want to pose to myself and to you, and I'm going to answer that question in this video of my 10 titles, but I want to hear in the comment section what titles would be on your list. And that question is simply this: if I could only keep 10 Criterion Collection titles in my collection, what would those 10 titles be? That simple question is the question that I'm going to pose. I want to make this a community discussion. So I'm going to share my 10 titles on the other side of this, but I want to hear in the comment section below, what 10 titles would you include if you could only keep 10 titles in your collection? It's an impossible choice, but it's a choice that we're going to make in this video. Let's do it. All right, what 10 titles would I keep in my collection? What 10 titles would I choose of the hundreds of titles that I have in my collection? What are the 10 titles that I would ultimately keep in my collection? I have those 10 titles. I have 9 of them right here, and I'm going to share the other one last. Now, the rule that I made for myself is 9 of the titles have to be single edition films, and then I left room for one of the titles to be a box set. So if I could choose just one box set and then 9 other titles, what would those titles be? What would those 10 titles be for me? I'm going to share those in just a second, but let me set the stage for you real quick. What is the scenario or situation where this could potentially apply? So I'm going to let you sort of use your imagination a little bit. And there are 2 scenarios I'm going to lay out. The first scenario is, imagine that you are on a desert island, that you are going to a deserted island, and you're going to be there for an extended period of time, maybe 10 years, and you can only take 10 of your Criterions with you. What would those 10 Criterion titles be? Do you like that scenario? Well, let me give you another scenario. The second scenario is, imagine, now this is a little bit more of a horrifying scenario, but for those of you who like horror, imagine this scenario. Your house is on fire, it's burning down, okay? Horrible situation, and you're standing there. Now your family has been safely evacuated. Everybody's out of the house. You have all of your important items you have managed to take out of the house, but the rest is burning down, including your collection. You can go in there and get 10 titles and come out safely, but you can only get 10 titles. What would those 10 titles be? So whether you like the desert island scenario or whether you like the house burning down scenario, you can only select 10 titles. Which would those be? So just thought I would throw that out there as a little bit of fun in this scenario. Now, I said I wouldn't waste any time. I am going to get to my list right now, and I'm going to go through mine pretty quickly, and I want to hear what your top 10 is. So right off the top, I'm going to share with you one of the early editions I picked up in the Criterion Collection. It is now on 4K Ultra HD, and I'm so happy about it. And I mean, it's one of my all-time favorites. I've talked about this title countless times on this channel. It is Blowout, the Brian De Palma film from 1981 starring John Travolta, Nancy Allen, John Lithgow. Brian De Palma is firing on all cylinders in this film. John Travolta gives what I think might be his best performance of all, maybe even including his performance in Pulp Fiction. This is, to me, the definitive John Travolta film. I love this film. It is one of the great political thrillers that's ever been made. It is a fantastic film, Blowout. So I would absolutely get Blowout. I got this from Costco many years ago. Now, not this version. This is the 4K edition. But I got my original Blu-ray from Costco many years ago when Costco sold Criterions at that time. They don't anymore. But this would definitely be one I would pull from the house or take to the desert island blowout. The second one that I would take in a situation, whether it's a desert island or a burning house fire, would be medium cool. This is spine number 658 in the Criterion Collection. So this is Haskell Wexler's fusion of documentary and narrative. It hits harder every year. It captures the energy and chaos of a country in transition. Basically covers 1968 in Chicago. You have Robert Forster, who is a reporter who is capturing the zeitgeist of that time and basically is capturing the events in Chicago surrounding the Democratic National Convention. It is an absolutely politically charged, emotionally charged film that deals with the lives of Robert Forster's character, Verna Bloom, who is a single mom, and her son, and how their lives intertwine in a tumultuous time in America. This is one of the all-time great films from the 1960s. It's from 1969 from Haskell Wexler. It's medium cool, and I would love to get a 4K, but this is the Blu-ray edition. I love this. It would come out of the house or go to my desert island or a desert island. The third title is a title that I was so happy that got a 4K release, and I picked it up pretty much as soon as it came out, and that is James Caan starring in Thief, Michael Mann's film from 1981. This is a 4K edition. This is spine number 691. Just absolutely love this film. It's one of my all-time favorites. And when you look at these three combined, folks, and I'll go over the next 7, these three here represent 3 of my absolute favorites in the entirety of the Criterion Collection. If you want to know right out the top, what are 3 of James's top 3 Criterion Collection titles? This is it right here: Blowout, Medium Cool, and Thief. Okay, it is as simple as that for me. Just 3 of the all-time great titles for me personally in the Criterion Collection. So you cannot go wrong with those titles. Thief. Now, I love this film here. This is a film from Gordon Parks. This is the 4th title I will cover here. And it is just one of the all-time great films. It's a film from Gordon Parks, has a classic score from Isaac Hayes. It is Shaft. Who is the man? I mean, it's Shaft. Shaft is the man, folks. Shaft. Okay, this is one of the all-time great films. I mean, the iconic music, the cool style, it's a cultural landmark. This is just an absolutely stunning film from director Gordon Parks. You also get the sequel, Shaft's big score. The only thing I think that would have made this edition just a complete knockout would have been, I do appreciate that they included Shaft's big score. It's on Blu-ray, the Shaft's big score. Shaft here is on 4K. It would have been nice if they included Shaft in Africa as well. That would have made this feel even more complete, but I'm being greedy. But this is just an absolutely amazing film. It is, you know, it is Richard Roundtree, I forgot his name, Richard Roundtree playing the title character of John Shaft. He is a private detective in New York City, and he's a bad man. He is just a bad dude, and he gets the job done, and I love this film. Just a classic in blaxploitation cinema, Shaft. Now, the next title is a classic in film noir. I have said many times how much I love this film. It's one of Billy Wilder's great films. And when it was announced for 4K a couple of years ago, I was through the moon excited to get Double Indemnity on 4K Ultra HD. This is an amazing film starring Barbara Stanwyck. You have Fred MacMurray and Edward G. Robinson. My memory is just not hitting on all cylinders right now. But yeah, Fred MacMurray, Barbara Stanwyck, and Edward G. Robinson Edward G. Robinson are amazing in this film. This film is amazingly written. It is film noir at its best. It is the granddaddy of film noirs. From 1944, deals with an insurance salesman played by Fred MacMurray who runs into a woman, Phyllis Dietrichson, played by Barbara Stanwyck, who doesn't exactly want her husband to be alive anymore. And there's a insurance policy on his life, and it has a double indemnity clause in it. So very interesting film of deception, deceit, and wickedness, and all for lust and the love of money. And you kind of get an idea that that's probably not going to end well for those who engage in that. But yeah, fantastic film, Double Indemnity, amazing. The next title is a title from Akira Kurosawa, one of the greats in all of cinema. This is a title that would absolutely be on my list of top 10 titles that I would pull if I had to. And I would pass Seven Samurai, I would pass Rashomon reluctantly, I would pass Dreams, I would pass Throne of Blood, and I would make sure I picked up High and Low. Okay, it would come down to High and Low, Spine number 24. This is a film from what years? 1963. Stars Toshiro Mifune, not in a samurai film, but in a modern day Japanese film in the 1960s, where he stars as an executive of a shoe business, and he's dealing with an extortion situation where he's being extorted. And it's just an absolutely phenomenal film. This film actually has been, I think, remade in a modern form by Spike Lee recently, starring Denzel Washington, that I think is called Highest to Lowest. So I don't know if I don't think that's come out yet. I think that's going to come out at some point. I don't know when, but yeah, Highest to Lowest by Spike Lee, a remake of this original film from Akira Kurosawa, Japanese director Akira Kurosawa, High and Low. This is my favorite of Akira Kurosawa's films, and I would love for this to get a 4K release, but right now I have it on Blu-ray. But brilliant film, highly recommended. If you haven't seen High and Low, check it out. Now, the next title is a title that was announced a number of years ago, and I was very excited. I have it on Blu-ray. It's a film from Bill Duke that stars the wonderful Lawrence Fishburne and Jeff Goldblum. It is Deep Cover from 1992, and this is an underseen and underpraised film. And basically, it's just a stunning, stunning film. You have Larry Fishburne, you have Jeff Goldblum, and a layered, socially charged script. It's slick, it's subversive, and it's more relevant now than ever. Deep Cover. I love the cover of Deep Cover. I mean, it is so good. On the inside there, you see the two of them there, Jeff Goldblum and Larry Fishburne's character. Larry Fishburne is a police officer who goes undercover in the criminal underworld, and he's deep cover. And it is just fantastic. I need to revisit this film because it's been actually now a few years since I've seen this, but I would definitely grab Deep Cover. And the special features on this are fantastic. Bill Duke, you get to hear a lot from Bill Duke in the special features, which I love, to learn more about him, because of course he was an actor in a number of different films. I think he was in the Predator film, one of the Predator films, and he's acted in other areas. And then he went into directing, and he talks about his path to become a director and some of the challenges that he faced in this edition, and it's just very fascinating. So a lot of props to Mr. Bill Duke, Deep Cover. All right, the next title is a title that I love because I love films. I love a nice road trip movie, and I love films that take place on the open road and that show us America at a time that now no longer, well, an era of America that has long gone. And this is a film from the 1970s from Monty Hellman, Lane Blacktop. This is from 1971. Got a number of titles from 71 here, but yeah, 1971 from Monty Hellman. Just an all-time classic. It's minimalist, it's meditative, and it's a whole vibe. I mean, basically, when you look at the Criterion description here, it comes down to James Taylor is the driver, Warren Oates is GTO. You have the great Warren Oates in this film. Laurie Bird is the girl. Dennis Wilson is the mechanic. Lane Blacktop is the picture. This is Lane Blacktop. This is a very simple film about young people who are traveling from west to east on US 66, and they're making their way to the East Coast. What are their goals? What are their ambitions? What are their dreams? You don't know. You have no idea. Where do they come from? What's their backstory? You don't know. They're just here in the moment. They're driving a car. They come across this girl, Lori Bird. She gets in the car with them. They come across a man named GTO, who's played by Warren Oates, and he's in the car, and they decide to race each other from west to east, with the stakes being whoever wins the pink slip of the other car. And that's really pretty much it. It's a very simple film, and it is fantastic. It's a meditative film that has a nice vibe to it. And I love films like this because I love the nostalgia of seeing, the open road and seeing the different stops they go to and the diners they go to, and just seeing America as it was in the early 1970s and late 1960s. It just has a nice vibe to it that I can appreciate. So Lane Blacktop, it is spine number 414 in the Criterion Collection. Very, very cool. Interestingly enough, the DVD edition had, I think had a thick book in it. This is the Blu-ray edition, but I would love to get a 4K of this film. Would be fantastic, because this is a restored high definition digital transfer, so a new 4K restoration of this film. Would love to see that, if that ever happens. All right, going down to number 9, and then we'll get to my box set. Mr. Spike Lee. I mentioned Spike Lee in Highest to Lowest, but that's not in the Criterion Collection, but Do the Right Thing is. And I would do the right thing and get Do the Right Thing as one of my 10 titles, spine number 97. This is an amazing film from 1989 from Mr. Spike Lee. Basically, if you had to explain American film in one title, this might be it. It's timeless, it's bold, it's loud, it's human. Spike Lee made something that continues to challenge and resonate even to this day. Do the Right Thing speaks to us even to this day. Of course, you have Spike Lee playing Mookie. This is one of the hottest days in the Brooklyn area, called Bedford-Stuyvesant and neighborhood, and you just have a lot of things going on from a racial tension standpoint. You have Danny Aiello, who owns this particular restaurant. You have a lot of different characters in this film, including, of course, Spike Lee, who plays Mookie, and it's just amazing. It's just a really culturally significant film that has a very powerful message that is relevant 36 years later. So Do the Right Thing. Nice digipack in the Criterion Collection, and highly recommend it. This is a title that honestly I had seen in Barnes & Noble for a number of years in that old DVD edition. And I told myself, I'm gonna wait until it comes out on Blu-ray. A few years later, it was announced for Blu-ray. I picked it up. It was a no-brainer. So I absolutely had to get Do the Right Thing. All right, that's 9 titles down, 1 to go. This last title is the box set. Now, there are a lot of amazing box sets in the Criterion Collection that I absolutely love. Tremendous box sets. And so it is an impossible decision to choose the one box set that I would go with. But when it's all said and done, if I had to pick 10 titles, and of those 10 titles, I could only go with one box set in the Criterion Collection that I have to take to a desert island that I'm gonna be at for 10 years, or that I have to pull out of a fire of my home, the one box set I would go with is a box set that is a complete collection of a woman who Martin Scorsese said she is art. And that is the complete films of Agnes Varda, the complete Agnes Varda. This is an extraordinary accomplishment by the Criterion Collection to give us the complete films of this auteur of cinema. Agnes Varda. This is such an amazing set because I will never know Agnes Varda in this world. Of course, she passed away a number of years ago. But going through this set, you sort of feel like you get to know her. Even though you'll never meet her, you feel like you can get to know, who she was as a person and her filmmaking style. You get an appreciation for it in this wonderful set that gives us films from the beginning of her cinema up to very recent years. And it is just presented so beautifully in this amazing set, but it is the entire work of an amazing filmmaker, Agnès Varda, who is a champion of the French New Wave and has given us films back from the 1960s, even up to the 2000s. And she recently passed away, and there's actually a Criterion Closet video with her in it that is a fascinating watch. But yeah, the complete films of Agnès Varda would be the box set that I would choose, along with these wonderful 9 single editions here, including Blowout, Medium Cool, Thief, Shaft, Double Indemnity, High and Low, Deep Cover, 2 Lane Blacktop, Do the Right Thing. If you want to know what are James's absolute favorites in the Criterion Collection, his personal favorites, those are it, along with this box set. I love the Fellini set. I love the Ingmar Bergman set. Absolutely amazing sets. The Wong Kar-wai set. Love them all. I love them all just as much almost as the Agnès Varda set. But if I could only pick one, this would be the one. Let me know in the comments section below what would be your 10 titles that you would pull out of your house if your house is burning down, assuming everybody else has already saved and everything else has been taken care of, and you can get 10 Criterion titles. What would those be? Or if you had to go to a desert island for 10 years and you could only take 10 Criterion titles, what would they be? All right, so let's have fun with this one. I'm looking forward to hearing your list. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time at the movies. Peace.